welcome back. Today with a bit of a more well-planned video. Usually we are doing unboxings, looking at videos here by now, because I don't feel like putting any energy and work into them. But today I thought I'd do a little list of things for us to go through. But of course the most important thing, what we are drinking. We are drinking a raw pour today. Usually we are on our ripe pour journey, drinking like the caffeine in its purest form. At least it feels to me like that all the time. Raw pour, like you get that nice dried out tingly feeling on the tongue, and it doesn't keep you awake all night. So cheers to you. Let's talk about some games that I tried to like. I tried multiple times, like all of these games I sat back down and tried to enjoy them, but I just couldn't. And I don't mean like games I'm not interested in, like I don't care about like F1 on the PlayStation 1 or something like that. But games that usually tick all the boxes of stuff I want to play, stuff I want to like, stuff I usually like, but just didn't click. I didn't feel it. And I don't mean games that are like, for example, Sonic Adventure 2. A game I was so disappointed in, a game I like actively hated to the point where I have a sort of Stockholm syndrome. And nowadays I kind of like Sonic Adventure 2 because I like it so little. That's why I like it so much. You know what I mean? Like there are still the things there that I like, but you know, it's just not what I want. So these games, I should like them, like on paper, they're the perfect games for me. They just didn't click. So let's jump right into it. With the system, like this was the first system I had while I had a job. So I actually had money to spend on games when they released, and I could afford to gamble a little bit instead of having to buy like 4 or 5 euro used games that just held me over for a little while. These were like brand new games I bought, and I wanted to love them. And one of them is Level 5's amazing, on paper, RPG Fantasy Life on the 3DS. This is getting a sequel on the Switch now. I'm thinking about picking that one up. Maybe it can win me over. I'm not sure. Because this one, it's like you have different jobs. And there are weird jobs, like you can be a chef, you can be a tailor. You know, jobs like that are more based around crafting, gathering material. The gameplay itself is like similar to like something like Diablo. You run through the world, you beat monsters up, you do quests. There is a storyline, but it's not the focus of the game. Now for this, I don't know. I should love it. It's a gameplay focused game. Like what I like about games is, okay, just throw me into the world, let me do stuff, let me have fun with the battle system, let's do all of that. And this one, I don't know, the characters, like there was so much text that didn't matter. And while I was playing, like, okay, this is ticking all the boxes of stuff I want, stuff I enjoy, but it just didn't click. I didn't like this one at all. And I tried quite a decent amount of hours. Like I tried to play the game 3 times actually. And each time I got 15, 20, 25 hours in, just didn't click. I didn't feel the fun while playing it. You know what I mean? When you just don't feel like you want to spend more time with this. This is what I have with Fantasy Life. I like the story behind it. It started as an Xbox online game, then it transformed into a 3DS thing and so on, and now it's getting a sequel. I want to try out the sequel. As I said, I don't have much more to say about this because like there's not a lot to it. It's a lot gameplay based, and when the gameplay doesn't click, this is not the game for you. And that was the case for me. Fantasy Life for the 3DS was a bit of a disappointment for me. I was looking forward to it. It has a huge fan base. People love this game. I was not one of them. Another one, a game with a huge fan base, or franchise with a huge fan base, of which I've played 4 games now. I really liked 2. I didn't like the other 2. This is one of the 2 that I didn't like basically at all. Tales of the Abyss. Also the 3DS version. We never got the PS2 version over here. I know it's a cliche, but like the main character is unbearable. Horrible. I know that's part of his character development, but just because a character gets better later doesn't make him tolerable in the beginning. So I can't look at him, I can't read his dialogue, I can't stand him in the least. Don't tell me, oh, finish the game, oh, it's getting so much better, like he's becoming the best character ever. No, I hate him in the beginning. I know I'm supposed to hate him, but that doesn't make it good. So, like the main guy, I don't even know his name anymore. Luke was his name. And there were other things, like on the 3DS, it tries to be rather cinematic. Like it was a PS2 game originally, and it really tried to like use its graphics muscle back then. And I didn't feel it on the small screen, maybe. Another thing is, maybe that's just a problem I had. I was going into caves a lot in the game, and I couldn't see on the screen. Like it was too dark to actually see where I was going. Maybe it was a problem with me, like playing it on the go, on the train, being too bright. But this game was just not designed around the 3DS hardware at all. And I think they should have adjusted that one a little bit more to make it playable in areas that are not like pitch dark, like playing at night. Because like you're in a cave, it's dark, the screen is dark, you're outside, the screen on the 3DS is not that bright, so you can't see at all if you play during the daytime. I'm sure I would have trouble in this room when I'm not even in direct sunlight. So overall, the main character was unbearable. The gameplay, just, I didn't feel it at all. And yeah, it wasn't my thing, sadly. I'm sorry, fans. So it wasn't my thing at all, and the playing on the 3DS didn't make it much better. Maybe I will try out the PS2 version one day. Maybe that's better. Maybe if you have experience with that, let me know. But Tales of the Abyss, and I could also name Tales of Symphonia. I tried to play that last year. I don't get it at all. Like, it's the most generic thing ever. Tales of Symphonia. This one is a bit less generic, but in a different bad way, in my opinion. The two, if you're wondering, the two Tales games I played and enjoyed were Tales of Fantasia on the Super Nintendo and Tales of Vesperia on the Xbox 360. I enjoyed those two. Abyss and Symphonia, not so much. When I got my Xbox 360, I got Fable 2. I was transitioning from World of Warcraft back then. I said, okay, I want to go away from online games and I want to play more offline story-based games. And I thought like the transition from World of Warcraft to Fable 2 was quite a good one. And I loved Fable 2. I, no joke, finished that game like 5 times in a row. I loved that game. It was so much fun. Of course, back then I didn't have a lot of RPG experience as well. So it was before I really got into playing RPGs and Japanese RPGs specifically. And I understand like Fable 2, it's not the deepest game, it's not the greatest game, but I enjoyed Fable 2 so much. And when they announced that they're doing a basically remaster, a remake, a enhanced port of Fable 1, which people were telling me, oh, Fable 2 sucks so much compared to Fable 1. I was excited to finally play Fable 1. I had a friend, he told me like Fable 1, one of his favorite games. And when this came out, I didn't like this at all. Like, I thought it was a step back from Fable 2, which would make sense. It came before Fable 2, but it was just, I don't know, the most basic Fable experience you can imagine. I didn't like the... Siri's trying to talk to me, don't do that. I don't know. The performance, maybe it was mainly because it was a very, very bare bones and bad port from the Xbox version. Like the frame rate, the graphics are still very much subpar for the Xbox 360, even though this came out pretty late. I think like 2011, 2012, something, 2013 even. 2013. A very, very late game in the Xbox 360 lifespan. and I didn't feel it. Like this compared to Fable 2 was just everything I didn't like about Fable 2 put into one big game with a lot of performance and pop-up problems. It really felt like they took the Xbox version and drew on top of it. So for the graphics upgrade. So it was not my thing. I want to replay it one day. I want to do the entire Fable series, at least Fable 1, 2, 3, again. I just bought Fable 3, another game I never played. I never played Fable 3 because I heard so many bad things about it as well. But people are praising this and hating on Fable 2. Maybe I'll enjoy Fable 3. Who knows? One day I will find that out. So Fable, the original, not my thing, probably because of like the time I was playing it in and the environment I was in. If I had played it on the original Xbox, maybe the story would be a little bit different, but as it stands right now, not as good as Fable 2, in my opinion. Now the last one, this will get many people angry. Because on paper, this is the perfect game for me. A game, I love dungeon crawlers. I love randomly generated dungeons as well. I just like mindlessly running through a dungeon and killing monsters, getting loot, upgrading my stuff. And in Dark Cloud, you get all of that. And you also have like a town building simulator. You have to rescue the people living in the town. Like the way the towns look, it reminds me a lot of games that are just comfort food for me. Like Friends of Mineral Town on the GameCube, for example. I just feel so, or even like GameCube, Dreamcast games. Like this feels like it gets the ideas from Evolution on the Dreamcast, if you've played that. Another randomly generated dungeon crawler, and it tries to upgrade that. So if you're a fan of Evolution, you should enjoy this. Evolution is one of my favorite games. I didn't enjoy this. So yeah, I think what really turned me off was the fighting. It's not turn-based, it's real-time, and I just didn't feel that one at all. It's more like, okay, you have your little dagger and you hit the enemy and then I don't know. It wasn't satisfying to me. I liked a lot of the mechanics, like the items breaking, the weapons breaking, having to upgrade them, having to have like a backup of everything. I enjoyed the mechanics. As I said, on paper, this should be one of my favorite games of all time. It just didn't come together for me. I tried 2 times. I finished the first world the first time, and in my second place, where I think I finished the second or third, I think I started the third one. I finished the second one and was in the third and said, I'm not having fun right now. And it makes me so sad. I should love this game. I want to love this game. I just don't. And that's the saddest part for me. That's the saddest part for all of these games. These are games I want to love. I just don't. And that's the saddest part. I can't do anything against it. I've heard the sequel, Dark Cloud 2, or Dark Chronicles, as it's called over here in Europe, is quite a bit different. Some people say it's worse, some people say it's better, and I want to check that out at one point in the future. Maybe they changed the right things for me to enjoy it, or they didn't. So I'm not sure. So I want to try out the sequel one day. I have quite a few marathons planned. Like I want to play this sequel. I want to play Fable 3 and 1 again. I never did the add-ons in this one. And I want to see if they kind of hold up. I don't know, I think I'm just done with Tales at this point. I have a few others I want to play. Tales of Graces F is something I've started and never gotten through with it. I've heard it has one of the best battle systems in this series, but I think like I'm just done with the Tales series. Unless you can recommend like a very, 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 very good one, that are like in line with Fantasia and Vesperia. So maybe just a 50-50 thing for me, that I like half of them and I hate the others. I don't know. And I'm willing to give Fantasy Life 2 a chance when it comes out. Maybe there's a demo, maybe I can try it out, who knows. But these are games I thought I'd enjoy. On paper, they are my favorite games. In reality, didn't come together for me. I didn't enjoy them. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.